Meanwhile, here is the clip from Russian state TV. It was Channel 1 apparently in Russia.
О том, как смягчить воздействие западных санкций, говорил сегодня Михаил Мишустин. На встрече со своим белорусским коллегой российский премьер подчеркнул, надо усилить сотрудничество в рамках союзного государства, а на совещании в правительстве обсуждали, как сохранить доступность лекарств.
Больницы не должны пострадать.
The channel immediately cuts away to something else, some medical documentary or some shit.
Западных санкций говорил сегодня Михаил Мишустин. На встрече со своим белорусским коллегой российский премьер подчеркнул, надо усилить сотрудничество в рамках союзного государства, а на совещании в правительстве обсуждали, как сохранить доступность.
That woman is a hero.
Не должны пострадать от введенных Западом
О том, как смягчить.
I fucking hate to think about what is going on with her right now. This might have happened last night. This was posted on Twitter today, this afternoon. Stop the war. Don't believe the propaganda. They lie to you here, is what the poster said. Apparently she was an editor. Before she stormed the set, she pre-recorded this video message saying what is going on in Ukraine is a crime.
Как символ того, что Россия должна немедленно остановить братоубийственную войну, и наши братские народы еще смогут примириться. К сожалению, последние годы я работала на Первом канале.
Brave fucking woman. She has been detained and was taken to a police station. Seriously hope she's okay. I mean, like, they don't seem to just kill people on the spot in Russia. Pussy Riot, Alexei Navalny, but they could just be high-profile people. So maybe the fact that she is a journalist and would make her somewhat high-profile works in her favor. What is a oligarch? What is an oligarch? Grammatically correct here, Justin. In response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. and allies have attempted to put a stranglehold on Russian banks, companies, and oligarchs, whose gargantuan yachts and sprawling estates have left many of us wondering what makes someone an oligarch and how did they become so rich? Oligarchs are exceptionally wealthy businessmen who are politically and socially influential. According to Elise Giuliano, a lecturer in political science department at Columbia University who focuses on post-Soviet Russia, they're often personally connected to the country's top political leaders, though not always. The classic definition of an oligarch would include some political influence, but it's become apparent since the war began, most of the country's billionaires have little or no sway with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Russia's original oligarchs made their fortunes in the 1990s during the chaotic aftermath of the Soviet Union's collapse, as state assets were offloaded to private bidders, often in corrupt deals. During this period of market liberalization, well-to-do businessmen, former officials, and plucky entrepreneurs acquired large stakes in Russian companies in oil and gas, metals and mining, railway and transportation, agricultural products, and other core industries. A newer group of oligarchs became wealthy through their ties to Putin, who has ruled Russia in one form or another since 2000. Putin has alternately enriched and punished oligarchs, treating tycoons and their businesses as pawns in his political chess matches. Khalid Khodorkovsky, then Russia's richest man, was arrested in 2003 for tax crimes after he supported Putin's political rival. However, many of today's oligarchs are current or former Putin officials. Yuri Kovalchuk, a longtime friend and advisor to Russia's leader, obtained large stakes in banking and telecom companies through his ties to Putin. That's the dude that had his yacht confiscated, right? I had that for the freak show. I was gonna show that to Sparkles. While oligarchs' closeness to Putin varies, all rely on his patronage. Given the way that the Russian economy is structured, so much depends either directly or indirectly on the state. According to Brian Taylor, a political science professor at Syracuse University, oligarchs are not autonomous economic actors who are in a position to stand up to the state or talk back to the state. The seeds of Russia's oligarchy were sown between 1992 and 1994 when the newly independent Russian Federation ran a voucher privatization effort. Under the program, shares of some 15,000 state-owned firms were made available to private buyers. Its aim was to allow ordinary Russians to buy shares. Instead, well-connected businessmen acquired blocks of vouchers, giving them large or controlling stakes in firms. Oh, they took his mansion. Fuck yeah. We need to employ some of those tactics because you know what? We've got 4 billionaires that combined make up pretty much the net worth of all of the Russian oligarchs. We, the United States, have 4 men. 4 men. And they seem to be politically connected. Weird. We are now reading from the New Yorker. Turning the focus on America's oligarchs. Late on the night of March 2nd, the Amor Vero, a 290-foot long yacht that French officials traced to Igor Sechin. This might have been the yacht I was thinking of. The CEO of the Russian oil giant Rosneft, a confidant of Vladimir Putin's, in the Mediterranean port of Le Cotat. I'm too poor and too Alabamian to know how to pronounce that. Pronuncia.
La Ciotat.
La Ciotat.
La Ciotat.
La
La
Ciotat.
Ciotat.
La Ciotat.
La Ciotat.
La Ciotat. What language are we speaking again? French? I took French in college. I failed it. As news spread of sweeping new sanctions on Russian elites, the crew of the Amor Vero tried to sell off urgently, according to the French government, but customs officers seized the yacht before it could depart. Observers of the luxury yachting world have reported that several other vessels connected to Putin's favored elite appear to be dashing toward friendlier ports in the Indian Ocean. To a degree that has startled experts in the opaque byways of international finance, the invasion of Ukraine has engendered a systematic campaign to sever Russia from the global banking system and to sunder the Russian elite from their estates, vessels, and fortunes, from the Caymans to Sardinia to Central Park. Since the Russian attack began on February 24th, the United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union have expanded the list of Russian billionaires under sanctions to at least 16. Brooke Harrington, a sociology professor at Dartmouth who studied tax havens and secret money flows, said that things that I've spent the last 15 years hearing were impossible have, in less than a week, become possible. Harrington, who has criticized the rules and loopholes that shield wealth from taxes or public disclosure, likened the sudden moves to the fall of the Berlin Wall. She said, "When that wall came down, it didn't affect just Berlin or even Europe. It changed the way the world was organized. I don't know if that's the way it's going to go this time, but it absolutely has the potential to be that kind of momentous shift." How momentous exactly? to push to expose hidden flows of Russian money has renewed calls to illuminate darker corners of American finance and politics. I mean, it's been illuminated. We've had the Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers, the Swiss Bank, the Swiss Papers. Fucking how many fucking how much light do we need to shed on the fact that we're getting the shaft before we actually do something about it? Not only the vast sums that are secreted to tropical islands to avoid taxes, but also the fortunes that exploit U.S. campaign finance law to bankroll the manipulation of democracy without fingerprints. In the State of the Union address, Biden asked Congress to pass the Disclose Act, which seeks to limit the role of dark money in elections so that Americans can know who is funding our elections. As Biden put it, the bill's sponsor, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, told me, the fact that all of this is blown up overseas and we're demanding all this transparency about foreign autocrats and kleptocrats gives us a good argument for cleaning this up at home and for focusing public attention. Fuck yes! We're going to come back to this story here in just a second, but I do want to point out that during the pandemic, America's 704 billionaires, that's the exact number. I said it was over 700 when we were talking to the dude on Discord last night. America's 704 billionaires have gotten $1.7 trillion richer. Over the 2 years of the pandemic, almost all of those wealth gains will go tax-free. Super yachts are selling out as working families struggle to afford everyday expenses. Putin's brutal, naked attack on a sovereign democratic society has clarified the risk posed by illiberal forces around the world. But the broader assault on democracy has been building for years, orchestrated in obscure legal maneuvers and self-serving political projects that have sapped confidence in elected governments, eroded transparency, and fed public cynicism. It's the fossil fuel industry's dark money that is blocking Congress from passing climate safety legislation, White House said. If ExxonMobil can hide its political spending behind dark money fronts, then why can't the Iranians? Why can't Vladimir Putin? We need transparency.